Well, hi everyone, and welcome to the Buffett and Beyond Research Stock of the Week, and this is July 6, 2024, heading into the second half of 2024. We're going over Eli Lilly, and folks, it is up 700% over the past 5 years. This stock is hot. And remember, if you want to live on this beach like Jimmy Buffett used to, then you've got to learn how to invest even better than Warren Buffett does now. And let's go over Eli Lilly, and it discovers, develops, manufactures, and markets human pharmaceutical products as opposed to non-human. I don't get that. Anyway, it's got pharmaceutical products, and the segments include diabetes, obesity, neuroscience, oncology, immunology, and others, folks. That's the whole gambit right there. Now, further development of Zepbound and Mounjaro are the pillars of Lilly's long-term growth story, and Jardiance was approved by the FDA just last year. And folks, we're going to see some fantastic numbers. And while we're on these drugs with strange-sounding names, let's see what they are used for. And remember, we're talking about diabetes, we're talking about obesity, and the Mounjaro is for type 2, right here, type 2 diabetes. The Zepbound is for weight loss, and that is what has been pushing this stock all of this year and part of last year. So we are looking at not only the type 2 diabetes drug, but we're looking at the weight loss drug. And people are thinking, hey, if I lose a lot of weight, I don't have to worry about type 2 diabetes. That'll go away by itself. And the Jardiance, which was just approved by the FDA last year, lowers blood sugar, and that is good for type 2 diabetes. So that's why these drugs are so important. And as I said, they are strange-sounding names. But when you hear about these stocks, or when you hear about these drug names, this is what we're looking at. This is what Eli Lilly is now famous for: diabetes and obesity. And when you say weight loss and you get approved by the FDA, folks, that stock is going to go up, up, up. And that's exactly what Eli Lilly is doing. And let us look at how this stock compares to the average stock. Because first of all, the clean surplus return on equity that we have here is totally different than the traditional accounting return on equity. Clean surplus is developed totally different. And what it does is allow us to find the better than average stocks, and it allows us to compare to other companies. So the average stock has a clean surplus ROE of about 13.5%. Now, think of your bank account when you look at these numbers. And what does Lilly have? An ROE, a clean surplus ROE of 17.2%. So would you rather put money in a bank that's giving you about a 13.5% return each year, or one that's giving you a 17% return each year? So let's go over to net income. And again, net income is a bottom line number that we use in clean surplus. It is not the income that you see on the balance sheet. Totally different, folks. It has to be calculated. That's what our computer program does. So the average stock has net income growth of about 13%. Lilly, double that. Double that right here at 27.5%. Okay, I'm a little bit wrong, a little bit more than doubling the average stock out there. And when it comes to revenue, yeah, you got to have the revenue in order to get to the bottom line of net income. Now, what is clean surplus net income while I'm on the subject? It is the traditional accounting earnings minus non-recurring items. And that means it takes out all the stuff that's unique to an individual company so that we can compare it to any other company, or in this case, the average company. Coming back to revenue, we have more than double the revenue of the average stock, which translates into double the net income of the average stock. So we're looking at the green lines, so that matters to us. The green lines are outperforming the average stock, the blue lines, because we want to fill our portfolio with better than average stocks. It's that simple, folks, because remember, over any 10-year period, 96% of professional money managers who manage those publicly traded mutual funds cannot outperform the S&P 500. This is why we pick stocks that are better in all categories than the average stock out there, or the average stock in the S&P 500. So let us look a little bit closer in here. Now, they had a hiccup in 2023, which lowered the clean surplus return on equity. But at the time we put this stock in our portfolio, which was a couple of years ago, so yeah, we're getting all that good growth, folks, and we've had this stock for a while now. It was showing a higher clean surplus return on equity. Well, that was postponed because it had FDA approval for Jardiance toward the end of 2023. They thought it was going to come out sooner. That's why this number is a little lower. But back then, when we looked at this number, it was higher, and this ROE was starting to rise, and 2024 still had the projected numbers at the time were much higher. So now you see 2024 and 2025 just rocking and rolling, because to get into our portfolios, we want to see a nice high clean surplus ROE, at least better than the average stock. So this stock is in our dividend growth and income portfolio, not the growth portfolio, but the dividend growth and income portfolio. And that's why you want to follow our portfolios, folks, because you're going to get these stocks earlier than you're seeing it right now. But because it's been doing so good, we had to put it out here and show you retention rate. How much money is this company putting back into itself in order to grow? Well, it's up to 68.9% for 2025. There's your research and development. That's what they mean by this number. This company's putting a lot of money into its weight loss drug and the diabetes drugs. And again, net income for next year, supposedly it's going to be 40.4%. That's amazing. Revenue growth, again, double the average stock out there. Net income growth, way more than double the average stock out there for 2025. That's why this company is doing so well. Years to pay debt. This is Buffett's number, his rule of thumb, and he says if a company takes all the money that it's making, how many years would it take to pay off its debt? If it just used the income to pay off the debt, his rule of thumb is 5 years or less. Ours is 3 years or less. Folks, this company could pay off all its debt if it wants to in 1.4 years. So we don't have to worry about the debt of this company if interest rates should go up, or even now that interest rates are where they are. This company doesn't have to take a lot of what it's making in order to pay off the interest on its debt. That's why we like this company so much. Now, let's look at how price did over the past 1 year. Black line down here is the S&P 500. This yellowish or mustard-colored line is Eli Lilly. And folks, with the S&P up about 23%, this stock is up 90%. We're looking at almost more than a 4 times return over the S&P 500. This is why our portfolios outperform the S&P 500, because we know clean surplus return on equity. We wrote 2 books on it. We did a doctoral research report, which took 3 years, by the way, doctoral research publication on it. And we've been published many, many times. So we know what this clean surplus is all about. We fill our portfolios with stocks that have higher than average clean surplus or higher than average clean surplus return on equity. And that's how we outperform year in and year out almost every year. And we have a 22-year track record, folks. Nobody else out there has a 22-year track record, or they're not talking about it because it's not that good. It does not outperform the S&P 500. So here we are, more than 4 times over return, because that's where it shows up. You have a better return on equity. You're earning more than the average stock. You're going to have a better price than the average stock. 5 years, oh my gosh, look at this. The S&P down here, black line, up about 90%. This stock is up 700%. Folks, this is a hot stock. Let me tell you one thing right now. It's very expensive. It is very expensive. So you want to wait for this stock to come down a little bit, or you want to wait for the market to come down a little bit. But we've had it in our portfolio, so we don't have to make that choice of when to buy it, because we already bought it some years ago, and we are participating in this wonderful return of Eli Lilly. So, folks, we've had a pretty good week. We're going into the second half of the year, and everything is firing on all 8 cylinders. Inflation is coming down. That means sooner or later interest rates will come down. So, go out, enjoy this weekend. We just had the 4th of July. What a wonderful fireworks display all over the world. Folks, go out, enjoy yourself. More than anything else, be with your loved ones and stay safe. And we'll see you right back here in a few days, folks. So go out, be safe, enjoy yourselves.